Hi, in this video we are going to work on direct proportion. So basically, two unknowns are in proportion when they are written in a formula. For example, let's consider a rectangle, alright? This is the length and this is the width. Now, the area for the rectangle is length times width, right? Now, if I increase length, I will expect the area to be bigger, right? For example, let's say L is 4 and width is 3. Now the area would be 4 times 3, which is 12. If I increase the length, let's say length is now 7. If I increase the length and keep the width, 7 times 3, 21. So I will have a bigger area. So if I increase the length, the area increases. Or if I increase the width, the area increases, right? Instead of 3 here, if I write 5, 4 times 5 is 20. So if I increase the width as well, I get the area bigger. And likewise, if I make the length smaller, so let's say 2 times 3, then I'm going to get an area which is smaller than the initial, right? So, if two quantities decrease or increase at the same time, if when one increases, the other one increases, or when one decreases, the other one also decreases, then we're talking about direct proportion. So they're proportional and they're directly proportional, right? Or, basically, there is this force formula in physics, F equals m times a, right? Here, if I increase m, I'm going to have the force increased. Or if I decrease a, I'm going to observe F is decreasing, because F and m, or F and a, are in direct proportion. Now, let's see an example. Right, in this example it says F is directly proportional to m. Now this must be mentioned in one way or another, right? Here we are given that F is directly proportional to m. This means I have to write such a formula. F equals K times m. Now what happens is, read the second sentence. When m is 7, F is 28. So obviously F and m are not equal. So this means there is a multiplier, there must be a constant K, so that I can write them as equal, right? So this is my formula, but I still don't know K. And that is why actually they gave me those values. So let me substitute the value of F and m. So it's going to be 28 equals K times 7, right? So it is 7K over there, multiplication, so I can divide by 7 to find the value of K. So K is now 4. Now, in this question, that's exactly what's asking. Write a formula for F in terms of m. It is not this one, it's the one where I'm going to substitute K. So it is actually this one. F equals 4m. So the idea for this first part is that you have to find the constant value K, right? In our case, it is 4. How do I find it? I just substitute the values given into this direct proportion, right? So this is my formula. This is the answer to part A. So let's write it here. Answer, let's say F equals 4m. Now let's see the second part. The second part says find the value of F when m is 4.5. Well, I have my formula here, F equals 4 times m. So here I'm going to substitute the value of m. So it's going to be F equals 4 times 4.5, which then would be 18, right? So F is 18, when m is 4.5. That's it. That's all I have to do. Now let's look at this example. It says y is directly proportional to the square of x. Now this is important because now I'm going to write y equals kx, well not x, it's the square of x, so I have to write x squared. So this is y equals k times x squared. It could be a cube of x, it could be the square root of x, cube root of x, it could be anything, right? So be very careful about the given unknown, how it is given. This is square what? So you have to be careful on this. Now, x is 3, y is 54. Let's find the value of k. So 54 is k times 3 squared. And basically I have now 9k is 54. If I divide both sides by 9, I'm going to end up with saying k equals 6. Right? And my formula, which is asked in part A, will be y equals 6x squared. Right? This is my formula. Now that I know the formula, I can just find any value I'd like. So x is given to be minus 2. Let's substitute it into the formula. So it's going to be y equals 6 times minus 2 squared, which will be y equals 6 times 4, and from here you can find y to be nothing but 24. Right? So this is what we do in the special type question. Now, not every single time you will be given the values to find the formula, right? You will be given a graph sometimes. Now here you have to figure out whether this is direct proportion or not. Well, if you check what happens on the graph, it will be easier. So this is t being 10, d being 20. So for t being 15 more, right? D being 30, it's increasing. So when I increase t, I also have d increased. So they increase together. This means d and t is directly proportional. So I can write the formula for d in terms of t. D equals k times t, right? Now, let's try to find a value to substitute. Now, if t is 10, d is 20. So let's substitute these values. So for d is 20, t is 10. From here I find k to be 2, isn't it? So my actual formula will be d equals 2 times t. Now that I have it, I can answer the second question. Now the thing is, I can't read it from the graph, right? I can figure it out. I can estimate, but I can't read it. So I have to substitute 50 for d to calculate t. So basically it's going to be 50 equals 2 times t. So if I divide both sides by 2, I will find the value of t being nothing but 25. So this is another way of the direct proportion given by a graph. You have to read the graph, you have to find your own values. It could be that we tried here 10 and 20, but it could be that we can try 15 and 30. We would still end up with the same formula anyway, right? So this is how direct proportion problems are solved. Now is exercise time. We have 2 questions here, one of which is given by a graph, with proportions given by a graph. So please solve these questions on your book and submit your answers online. Thanks for watching. Questions are here, don't worry.